Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another 4-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, and this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented, and the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefit of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
Check 1 2 1 2. All right. Let's make sure we're on here. Make sure everybody can hear me okay. Let's go to the comments. Hey guys. Okay. Hi there, Linda. Let's change this banner here. Okay, let me fix this for you. Let's go with classic black. We'll go with that one. Or the bubble. Yeah, we'll go with the bubble. All right. Welcome to it's Tuesday, right? Yeah, I wanted to go on last night, but I had some technical difficulties on my end. So glad to see everybody joining in. Hi, Mary. How are you? Hi, Sandra, my dear friend Sandra, coming through perfectly. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Okay. Hello. All right. There we go. All right, would look good. Comments are coming in. Give everybody just about another minute here as we wait for everybody to jump on. I posted, we're on Facebook, we're on Rumble and YouTube right now. I posted the Rumble link on Twitter as well. Okay, sounds great. Good. All right. Hey there, Lisa. How are you? Okay, hey, Susan, how are you? Glad to see you too. Nancy, Tennessee's in the house. Okay, good. So it looks like we're okay. We're flowing. And let me check my feed on Rumble. That looks pretty good, I believe. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, we're flowing. Good. Excellent. Okay. All is well here in the land of broadcast. All right. So let's get underway here. I'm going to grab my Facebook page real quick to bring it on here. And we're going to open up with this. Well, actually, you know what I should do? We're going to take a couple things off Facebook here this evening. All right. Okay. So I put a letter out, not a letter, a post, if you will. And I'll put it up here. Let's share the screen. Let's grab Facebook. All right. So there's my Facebook page. Uh-oh. Bruce, talk about Carlos Slim. All right, let's see here. Where did I put it? Okay, it was after this. I know that. That was before that. Oh, there we go. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing. You guys can read it on my Facebook page. I basically said I post opinions about predictions based on research events. I used history and discernment. When I post things, and it causes some eyebrows to raise. I don't have all the answers to who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay. I said a few other things in here, things I've never said before. Let's see. I put down, I do, and I mean this sincerely. I also know that I do not have all the answers. Uh, I do believe in my opinions and my predictions when I do post. I wouldn't put them up there. I'm pretty, very careful about what I put out. I put we are living in unprecedented times. I've also said I've studied which I have. I have studied the daylights out of past events, wars, things like that. Again, I've said it a few times. I believe the first time that I think I really got. I mean, I can remember as a kid growing up and watching Walter Cronkite, the evening news, but starting to take things seriously once I seen Reagan was shot. So um, I put down. I put buckle up, Patriots. I know in my heart and soul that we are entering into a whole new world. The question is, which world? And please continue to pray and all that. So I may not have all the answers, but I do know when God is showing me. Hold on line. So I put that up there for a reason. And let me take that off of there. So I put that up there for a reason, and it's because I get a lot of questions, and sometimes I see in the comments. I saw one today saying, "Oh, he won't answer." I don't even know what that meant, but I can't answer every single question that's out there. I try to, I really do. I try to interact. It's a lot, and then I get nailed. Every post. You know what? I want to write this down. I get nailed, and the posts with these. There's an attack on Facebook with these bots of these Telegram links. It's massive. If you go to my page and you see that it has it says at the bottom, and I usually try and do this at night, or I do it on a page that's getting a lot of traction because when I turn my head and I'm on my other accounts or whatever work I'm doing, um, they'll sneak in behind my back and it'll be just loaded with these Telegram bots. I mean, I could let it go, but I try to do my best to keep the page as clean as possible. And if you come on there and you see that if you've only been a friend or a follower for at least 24 hours, you can comment. The reason that I put that on there is because these bots don't hit the follow button or they don't have time to because they got to wait 24 hours. So by doing that, that keeps out all that spam. So it is quite a bit a work. I will say it. As a matter of fact, that was one of the one of the deciding factors when I had my rant that evening and I tried to get banned from Facebook on that one Sunday evening. And crazy if you guys never saw that. We compiled a letter together, us Patriots, and we said some choice words to Zuckerberg and kept it up. It was taken down, but I was never suspended. I was really ready to be banned, and I'm like, that's it. That's good. So it didn't happen. I'm still here, which is quite amazing. I think I got a couple more, 2 or 3 more 24-hour timeouts. I think I figured out the 24-hour timeout, my opinion only on my end, because there are days I post a lot. Okay. And I think I don't know the number. I'm trying to figure it out, but I think their algorithm only allows you to post a certain amount. I mean, it's up there, but maybe if I posted 40 posts in a day, it kind of triggers the algorithm and they give you a 24-hour timeout. That is my educated guess based on what I've gone through. So that's what it is. Because people always say, "What'd you do now? What'd you post now?" It's nothing like that. It's not what I post or what I put up. It's just they don't even tell you anymore. So, but with that said, a couple things here. I want to go on the checklist. Oh, if you are new, you can go on any one of my accounts, whether you're on Twitter, Facebook. Um, I think it's on my Telegram as well. Again, there's in my bio description, there's a link tree. You could follow the link tree. You just click that, and it takes you to all of my accounts. Also, we are on Pop Talk. I will be talking to one of the owners again this week, kind of working together here. And I've been posting over at Pop Talk as well. Again, if I go down on Facebook, you definitely can find me over at Pop Talk. Go on to pop. It's I think I have it here. Yeah, you can go on there. It's poptalk.io, not .com, poptalk.io. I'm under Real Bruce Snyder, and you can find me there. A new platform put together by Patriots, and they are in a beginning stages, and those guys over there are doing great, great things. So looking forward to more of the future with them and getting that train rolling. Okay, so with that said, and one more order of business. I wanted to thank everybody for I haven't been on the air since um what was it? Oh, the night of Sound of Freedom. I went on the third, and we're gonna get into the Sound of Freedom. Yes, I'll give you my opinion on this whole Carlos Slim thing. All right. So but I haven't talked to you guys via video since last Monday night. And I wanted to thank all of you because this past week, we was it Friday? We laid my father to rest finally. He passed back in December, and we laid him to rest on. We wanted to wait to spring because he was cremated, and we took him out to the military cemetery out here in Ohio. I did post a video, which those military funerals are very moving, and I'm glad I had it on there. It was quite something else. Uh, to go there and experience that. I've always seen them. I've never attended one all my life, and that was the first one I attended. I've always, like I said, I've seen them on TV. I had some family members in my past when I was a kid, but they didn't necessarily have that military funeral. They were buried in a normal cemetery. But it was very moving. Thank you to the United States Marines who showed up there in honor of my father. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all your prayers and your condolences that you posted. Again, thank you very much. It means a lot to me from the bottom of my heart. So it's something I did. I don't do that for attention. I did that for my father. My father was quite the opposite of me. Even though that I'm on a public platform, and here I am in your home right now. I'm believe it or not, believe it or not, I'm more quiet and shy, laid back, not shy, but more laid back and reserved. That's me. My dad was different. He was quite the opposite. He loved to be uh, the life of the party, if you will, and kind of like he loved family and everything else. So it was my honor to put that up there for him. So okay, one more order of business. I did want to. We did not, unfortunately. Okay, but we're still going to Texas at the border. Just like with anything in production, these things happen, aka Sound of Freedom. It took years. So we have not met our financial goal for the Texas trip. So kind of worked out really good. So uh, the reason I say that, and I'm not going to disclose why, but recently I kind of told you guys that I had a little health situation going on. I don't want to really put it out there in public. And it's probably a really good idea that I'm not out there in that 100. I know it's 110 there today, 110-degree heat. Matter of fact, not advised by my doctor to do that. So it'll work out. So we'll wait. It'll probably take us a couple more months or something to finish raising the funds. If you'd like to support my work and you'd like to support us for going on a trip, which probably will be going, I'm trying to, I set a goal now for September. So we want to get down to the border. So it's a little more, it's not as hot. And we want to do a documentary. I'm already in touch with some folks down there, some people who live there who are as a camera operator. And believe it or not, they've already started shooting. Yes, so technically we have begun. So it is going on right now. No interviews, but we're getting footage. I've seen some of the footage, and we're compiling it right now. So that's where we are. You can go to Give Send Go, and that's at Mindfix TV. So all right, so let's get underway with the show. Enough of that. Get all that business out of the way. All right. So first of all, let's get into the Sound of Freedom. Let's not get into the controversial stuff. Let's start with a few reviews. How about we do that? Now, one thing I want to show you before I do the reviews, I did post this one. There are a few others, but I'll show this one. Again, I don't know where this one was at. If you've seen it, you may have seen it on online on my Facebook page. If not, this is I don't know what state this is in, but another theater where they had an incident at for the Sound of Freedom again.
In our theater, in ours, we have no clue what they were. I think every theater. We got camera crews. We're parked in. Hey, we did at least have a good parking space over Lakefront Road. But stay tuned.
Okay, so there's a lot of things going on out there. I did post, I'll tell you straight from my mouth, that on last Monday night on July 3rd, which we went at 4:30 in the afternoon, I went to Cinemark. And I don't go to the movies that often. I think I seen the only two films that I seen and recently, I would have to say, was Top Gun Maverick, and I went to see John Wick 4. And I've been to this theater a number of times prior to that. I don't go to the theater a lot, but when I do, it's never an issue. It's a very nice theater and very comfortable. But I remember walking into Sound of Freedom in the theater it was in. I remember it was number 7. And as soon as I walked in, it was like a hot box. I was like, whoa. As a matter of fact, I was wearing I purposely wore a sweatshirt because I knew going to this particular theater, it could get a little chilly because they have the air conditioner going. So I brought a sweatshirt. And as soon as I walked in, I was like ripping it off. Some other lady was complaining. She was darting down the steps and she was like, I'm going to speak to the manager now. And she did it once, came back, went to her seat. I noticed that I made a joke as well to someone. I said, this is the deep state trying to suffocate us out of here. I wasn't being serious at the time until I've seen all the reports across the country over the past few days. And then I saw the lady get back up, go back out there. So, you know what? I don't even know if they turned it on or not. It was just stuffy in there the whole time. That's all I noticed. So I don't know what kind of games are being played out here, but there are a few games being played. So let's put up a couple more. I found it quite interesting. Let's put up a couple of quick reviews. Here's someone coming out of the theater.
Pretty screwed up from that movie.
Oh, sorry.
If you haven't gone and seen The Sound of Freedom, please do. Please go see it and bring as many people as you can. Go to angel.com/freedom to pay it forward. I'm about to do that. You can get free tickets. This needs to be seen all around the world. I'm going to do a movie review tomorrow. I can't talk about it right now. I'm pretty screwed up from that movie. But I think that's the whole intention here.
No lights today, just substance. So I just got home from seeing Sound of Freedom, and this is not normally my wheelhouse. I love movies. I love all things about movies, but as a movie influencer, this isn't really one that I was going to pay a lot of attention to. But as a father, I had to. So right off the bat, I'm seeing controversy with this movie just when it comes to getting tickets. A lot of theaters are saying they're sold out, and when you show up, they're not sold out. They're actually just a few people there. I've seen a lot of people say that the theater has said the air conditioning went out, so they either refund your ticket prices or you're going to have to sit through a hot theater for 2 hours for a movie. Again, I've seen them a lot of places, but personally, I didn't really think anything of it. So imagine my surprise, honestly, when I come around the corner and these signs are plastered everywhere all over my movie theater. I've been going to the theaters for a long time, and not once in my lifetime has a theater warned me that the AC was broken or down before a movie was shown. I've never been discouraged to give a theater my money before. I've sat through movies that didn't have AC, and I was never warned before. I just kind of figured it out, and I've asked, and they've been like, oh yeah, the AC is not working. I've never been told before. I've never been discouraged or said, hey, this is going to be uncomfortable. Just wanted to let you know. The movie theater has never put up a fight to take my money. But this was plastered everywhere, and it is what it is. This was an incredibly difficult movie to sit through. I felt like I had a knot in my stomach the entire time, and I'm still processing it. right now, but I really wanted to make this TikTok just to talk to you guys about it. Normally, after seeing a movie and it puts me in this type of mindset, I have that safety net of reassurance to tell myself it was just a movie. You know, it wasn't real, and I can kind of brain scrub or watch something else and I can get myself out of that. But not this. Human trafficking is real. The trafficking of children is real, and it's absolutely devastating. I encourage everyone to see this movie, and I encourage everyone to bring awareness to these heinous acts, because when it comes to this, we are all on the same side. There is absolutely nothing that is more important than the safety of our children. I know this is not the type of content you usually come to my page for, and we're all about fun and entertainment. However, being a content creator on this app, and you guys have blessed me with this voice and this following, I feel like it's my responsibility to draw attention to things that I feel strongly about. I feel very strongly in drawing attention to human trafficking and the trafficking of small children, and if this video in any way, shape, or form brings a little bit of attention to that, then let's roll.
Very well said. I really appreciated that particular reaction review, if you will. It's no secret to anyone that things like this are coming out. Okay. The Rolling Stone magazine, Washington Post, of course, Media Matters, aka George Soros. Even the Guardian, they're all slamming the film. They're slamming Jim Caviezel, and attaching him to QAnon conspiracy theories, if you will. There you go. Sound of Freedom, the QAnon tinged thriller about child trafficking, is designed to appeal to the conscience of a conspiracy-addled boomer. It's amazing to me. I was told that the Rolling Stone, the bottom two, Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie for dads with brainworms. So apparently, I don't know his name. It's probably best, but the person who wrote that article for Rolling Stone had to lock his social media profiles, apparently, from what I'm told. I know at least his his Twitter account. He set it to private or disabled it or something like that because of the heat he was taking. So there's, I mean, the left is absolutely slamming it, and it's going to bring us to the controversy now. Okay. But first, let's play this clip. You may have watched it if you're just joining tonight, because I posted it earlier. Play it real quick, short. Jim Caviezel talking about what I just showed you in regards to all this and being linked with QAnon.
You can either fade away or turn and fight. And I've decided to fight back because those precious children are God, and I give my life for God. I'm talking about the Jesus Christ God, okay? The QAnon stuff, Jim's QAnon. Well, let's look into that, because that could be really evil. Somewhere in Congress, they said QAnon is racist. Okay. Well, we don't like that, right? But so is the Ku Klux Klan. And that's another letter. It's a K. We don't like the letter Q. We don't like the letter K, but they don't go after the letter K. And I started looking into Senator Byrd, and he was a grand wizard. Hillary Clinton's tied to him, and Joe Biden's tied to him. Now, understand, this is a Ku Klux Klan here. And there is a lot of data that can prove that the Ku Klux Klan is an evil organization. And so are the Nazis. One could say that they're also racist, but they don't go after those. Only the QAnon. Now, by way of analogy,
about 1 minute remaining.
If I were the Apostle Saul, and I'm a Pharisee, I'm going to go after the Christians. I'm going to take them down. Now, remove Christians and let's make it QAnon. I'm going to destroy them because the Romans told me they're evil. I'm going to destroy them because my own church staff, my fellow Pharisee said evil. I'm going to take them out. And then you find out it's not QAnon. It's Q and Anons. And Q puts out a question, and you're not allowed to ask questions anymore. Not allowed to. And the Anons, They look it all up, and they start looking and investigating this stuff. I never knew about them while I was doing this movie, Sound of Freedom. It has nothing to do with our film. But it's really interesting that they pointed to this immediately and said, that guy's one of them. He's bad.
Well, there you have it. To me, personally, I would have to say that it sounds like Jim knows a little about that particular movement, the 17 movement. I remember seeing him at one of the Patriot events giving a speech, and him saying a few things that he didn't mention Q, but his language back then, it was like a year ago or something, maybe a little bit more, 2 years ago. His language was, I realized, was coming from the Q boards and that, that lingo. So, kind of knows, he may not know a lot about it, but for him, somebody at least schooled him on it as far as that goes. He separated the Q and the anons. So, but I like how he says about the Q is to question everything. Okay. This is a good segue. So to question everything, and again, you can, if you're on Facebook right now, you can comment, and I could bring it up on the screen if you'd like. Okay. Hello, everybody. I see your comments now. So we're gonna get into it here. All right. And I got to be careful how I do this. I'm asking everybody to just hear me out, I guess. As far as my point of view goes with this whole thing with Sound of Freedom. So the left is attacking this film heavily. Perhaps even in the theaters with the whole thing with the air conditioning and whatever else is going on. Trying to stop people. I also noticed too that, I think I said this on my review, that in that one review, the gentleman just said a few moments ago how they're saying this theaters are sold out, but there are plenty of extra seats. I think that had something to do with possibly my opinion of getting a free ticket and people sucking up these free tickets, but not going. Okay. They're just hoarding the tickets. And that's why you're getting some empty theaters. It has a lot to do probably with your demographics too, I would assume. So could be heavier in blue states, if you will, compared if you're in more of a rural area or urban, whatever. So I'm sure that plays in a lot of factors. So one thing I know, one thing I want to bring up too before I talk about the whole thing, because people keep asking me. I've given my opinion already for the most part. People asking about this whole thing with, things people are saying and the TikTok videos that are out there. Of course, nut job, crazy broad Madison Marquette, what she's putting out there. The accusations that people put out there are just that. Okay. They can't back it up with any receipts. Is my point. I'm going slow with this. I think so. I'm told that right now, apparently Tim Ballard is on Jesse right now. Could be over. After the show's over, after this podcast is over, like I only like to do an hour. And then I will put that up for you. I'll find it and I'll put it up. Okay. I think it's important. Let me set the stage. I think it's important. It's very important for everybody to do their research. Just like Jim just said, question everything. Question. And we should. Okay. I've put my 2 cents out there in a 2 or 3 posts by now. And I've noticed something, okay? First of all, when I say this with humility, so you can understand where I'm coming from. When I'm only going to speak for myself, I have a little bit of a bigger platform and a few more eyeballs, if you will. And there's always going to be haters. Prior to this, I've been in positions in my life where you're kind of up there and people, they want to tear you down. That's normal, believe it or not. That's kind of sick, but it's normal. Recently, since this movie has come out and been released, I have noticed an absolute, which is terrible. This is not good. An absolute dogfight, if you will, amongst each other here on this side of the aisle. People are researching. I'm being very careful here. People are researching and they're stumbling upon things that put up a red flag for them for the Sound of Freedom. I am well aware of that, and I know what all those are. I should say that it is not a good thing for us in this movement to cause more division. The division's being caused by the left, okay? And we have been on this side of the aisle for years. Just like President Trump says, I take the slings and arrows for you. We've been taking a lot of slings and arrows, okay? In the form of people with nasty comments towards our posts or our comments, towards censorship. Censorship is number one, taking us down left and right. So we have been in this battle at war for quite a while. I don't have to paint the whole picture for you, but I find it discouraging right now that we're tearing apart each other. Now, I have been accused of this already. I'm going on record right now. I have blocked some people since this movie has come out. It has nothing to do with free speech. This is where it gets sensitive for me. And I'm going to go talk about this whole thing. I'll play that video for you too. All right. We'll do that. And I'll put you in that mindset. It's sensitive for me because we're talking about children. Okay. As a matter of fact, here, let me see if I can grab something for you. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second. I just thought about loading in here. If I could find it. 1 second. Bear with me. I do apologize. It's probably pretty important. Here, I know where to get it. Okay, so let me go on my it's easy to find on my Telegram page. I'll put this up real quick. Here we go. I got it. Okay, I got it. So I'm going to show you something. Some of you who are on my Telegram page may have seen it. Or if you were on Twitter and you follow DC Drano, I did not put it on Facebook. I chose not to. So let me just, before I hit play, if you have a hard time and a weak heart at seeing the reality, I'm not talking the movie, even though the movie was based on a true story and facts. I'm going to put up some real footage right now. So if you do not want to see it, you have just a couple seconds here to turn away. It's nothing that's going to grotesque you or anything like that. It's just going to, it's going to hurt to see it. All right. So I feel comfortable with the idea of, hold on, playing this. Here it is. Okay. All right. I have it. All right. So I'm going to play it now. This is from DC Drano, showing real footage. You can clearly see it. of children in what looks to be Colombia or another part of the world. Exactly what Sound of Freedom showed us. So here's the reality, folks. Look on the ground.
इस लड़की को होश आ रहा है क्या? इसको शायद होश आ रहा है। यार इस बच्चे की दशा देखो यार।
Okay, so yes, it is very heartbreaking to watch. Okay, to see that what you just saw. I don't want to even describe it. You saw it for yourself. So that's the part that gets me. All right, it always has. I've been vocal about this for a long time, way before Sound of Freedom, about child trafficking. I promised myself that I would never, ever, ever allow them to hijack my emotions. And that is not an easy thing. Okay. Ever since 9/11, especially 9/11, I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't let them hijack my emotions again. Because, they did that to an entire country, to an entire planet. We all have our own opinions now about 9/11, etc. over the years since time has passed. And I have questioned it too as myself. I'm like, okay, stay strong. Look at both sides of the aisle. Take a look at what people are saying, which I have. And I'm not changing my mind. I will always come on here and admit when I'm wrong. I have done it a handful of times. And I say a handful because I have a good batting average. I don't put out BS and propaganda and all that stuff. Okay. I like to put out humor. I love humor. I love humor. So in this day and age, we have to laugh. Okay. So that's why you see some silly posts from me, because we have to break it up. A whole day of this news and everything that's going on can really get to you. So unfortunately, yes, I have blocked some people since the Sound of Freedom has come out. And I actually have a small list, and I haven't blocked them because it's like, oh, you pissed me off. No, it's more of I asked nicely behind the scenes to not share certain things, share that stuff on another page, and it wasn't listen. They didn't listen, and I'm like, okay, well, enough's enough. All right, so all right, let's do this. I haven't looked, and before I get into this whole thing, I'll play two videos. I'll play one video, and let's go to that post that I just put up on Facebook. Okay, I did it on purpose because everybody said, and their answers were funny to me, because it was like I just figured this out or something. No. Right here. Okay. Let's see here. So I asked a question. Oh, yeah, by the way, real quick, Tucker on Twitter, episode 9, the Andrew Tate interview I posted, 2.5 hours. And that's actually another good thing to talk about, because this fits right into exactly what we're talking about. But I really won't put that in there right now. Okay, how many, here's what I posted 2 hours ago. How many of you would like it if Russia and China were working with POTUS 45 to bring down the deep state? Of course I know what the 17 drop says. I've been posting this for a long time. And there's 92 comments. Okay. Been liking it for a few years now. Whatever it takes, that is happening. Would love it. I believe it is happening. I think they are. I believe they are, and down, and so on, and so on, and so on. I thought this for a while. That would be awesome. Perfect. Absolutely. Hanging on to that hope. 100. Love it, etc. Okay. There's the answers. My point to all this is you're cheering on another country or countries. We can talk about China that clearly has slave labor with children. But we're in the corner and behind the idea of them working with 45 to bring down the deep state. First of all, let me go on record now and tell you I'm all for that. I believe in the old the saying, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. I have pondered with that ever since I saw that on the 17 drop. I'm like, everything I know about China, it's like, how do we get in? We're going to get into bed with them. Trump came out and he would be adamant about, making friends with the enemy. And I'm like, that's great. I mean, you go back to The Godfather, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Okay. That's kind of wisdom. That makes sense. Him going into North Korea with Kim Jong-un and crossing over the barrier, shaking his hand, and without Secret Service right by his side as well. I mean, right next to him. It was amazing. It was an amazing moment in history. I get what President Trump's doing because we're not going to get anywhere in this world unless we unite and work together. We're going to have to put our differences aside, even as horrific as things can be, because we're never going to make progress if that's the case. We're never going to make it. I hope I see a world like that. Before I pass on to the next life. I would like to see that. I would like to see my two grandsons, who are 1 and 4 years old right now, and see them enter into a new era of, at least for them being children, into a new era of education and a new era of a better world. I'm a realist, and I realize there's always going to be evil. This whole idea of eradicating all the evil in the world, that's just absurd. That won't happen. But I think there can be a season, if you want to call this biblical, I think there can be a season, and you can compare it to the biblical story of Noah in the flood, if you will. I kind of been viewing it like that for quite some time now, as when President Trump says to drain the swamp, and this doesn't happen overnight. And it's taken a long time, and that is why I posted on Facebook today about this is simply not another 4-year election. Those words have stuck in my head every single day, and I hold on to those because I think, okay, there's something bigger going on here, and obviously there's plenty of time to time, I'll put up some cube drops that match, and they do match, and it's pretty remarkable. It's obvious to me that the keyboard's real. How the story is going to end, I just don't know. Okay, but it served a great purpose. Okay, it served an incredible purpose. The number one purpose was Just like Jim Caviezel just said, Q, question everything. It took you down a path and you started to research. And those who put a lot of time into that board started to post things on social media in the beginning, aka many other people you know, and including myself. And then we started to take it even more serious as days went on. And when President Trump became president, after he came down that golden escalator, and they pretty much turned on all their assets, they didn't hide it anymore. And you know what we went through. And evil reared its ugly head. And we started pushing and pushing more and getting it out there. And then censorship came. And we're still at that point right now. So to the sound of freedom, and again, comparing it to 9/11, hijacking my emotions, and I promised myself I would never let that happen again. I'm sticking by and I can only do this, and I'm not going to bring receipts, okay? Because when people put stuff out there like that, I want to see receipts, okay? But they somehow turn it around on you, and they want, like, I'll just talk about myself. They want me to defend their nonsense. Well, I'm not going to do that. You defend your nonsense. Now, until I have something concrete that is I can work with, then I'll gladly step back and say, you know what? And right now, before I get into my opinion, I'll gladly step back and say that I was wrong. God help me if I'm wrong. Okay, God help me if I'm wrong. Okay. But this whole thing, okay, let's play it. Let's go ahead and play it. Let me grab it here. Hold on a second. All right, so I'm going to play this video. Somebody posted it to my page, and then I'll comment on it. Okay, fair enough.
And deeper. So to all the truthers that are in denial and choose not to even entertain this topic, to all the lazy people not even willing to even look at the information presented, you stay over there, you sit on the fence, you do what you need to. Let other people continue digging, because when you dig, all you need to see then is who funded this film. Tim Ballard says one name, Carlos Slim.
Who's paying for this movie to come about?
I think Jim's. Aren't you footing the bill? A great group of people have come together to invest in this production. Some of them, the Carlos Slim family is involved. Really? From Mexico. JP, John Paul DeJoria.
Fox has helped distributing it. Really?
Yeah, Fox, Century Fox.
And for the folks who don't know who Carlos Slim is, tell them who he is.
He's one of the wealthiest men in the world.
They are really, really bad people. The largest shareholder in the Times is Carlos Slim. Now, Carlos Slim, as you know, comes from Mexico. He's given many millions of dollars to the Clintons and their initiative. So Carlos Slim, largest owner of the paper from Mexico. Reporters at the New York Times, they're not journalists. They're corporate lobbyists for Carlos Slim and for
Sound of Freedom.
Okay. So many of you probably have seen that. It's been going around on the circuit, making its rounds. That's probably the first one that I have allowed on my Facebook page. I would take it down normally, and that is the truth. And don't give me your free speech crap. I mean that, because it's not about censorship. It's because it has nothing to do with that. It's because I don't want propaganda on my pages. All right, there's plenty of other propaganda accounts out there. I can also take a video and add that. Did you hear the music that someone added to it? Clever. And it plays on you. But my point is, Tim Ballard clearly admits it. I get it. All right. So you're saying to me, think about this. You're okay with the post that I put on Facebook. You're okay with China and Russia, China especially, helping POTUS 45 eradicate the evil in the deep state from planet Earth, knowing everything that China has done. But you have a problem with somebody funding Sound of Freedom, okay, that puts child trafficking and on the global spotlight and has red-pilled many people. Here is something that I will say. Even now, my research shows me it is Carlos, is his son. I have looked into this already. His son seems to be the one that is behind it and calling the shots. And he's very adamant about child trafficking. A lot of people easily use, I talked about emotions, and I wouldn't let my emotions get hijacked again. People simply, the problem that we have is that with the internet is that there are no rules per se. And people immediately see a name attached, then they see evil, then they hear, oh, he's funded the Clintons, he's given money to the Clinton campaign, this, and that. Okay. And automatically you say that don't go see this movie. You're being played. And let me say something else too. Behind, and I'm going to just say it like it is. Okay. Behind people who get pissed off. All right. And you could hear it in their tone, just like that video. They say, they're basically, without calling you a sheep, they're calling you a sheep. They're saying there's an ego thing going on there, and they want to be right more than anything. Okay. Correct. Right there. No discernment at all. They rush. We live in a society where everything is at the push of a button. Ever since the microwave, quick, fast, drive-throughs, everything. And now the internet, boom, boom, boom. Our attention spans are short. So people don't even take the time to discern, to pray about it, to look deep into it. No, let's be the first. Just like the mainstream media, I need to be the first to get it out there. I need to be the first to put it on TikTok because I need views, I need likes, and I need followers. Because it sounds good. Even one more thing too. Even if Carlos Slim, or AKA his son, it sounds like his son, but of course, Carlos, I get it. I'm with you. I'm not denying it. Was anybody talking about Carlos Slim prior to Sound of Freedom? And the answer to that is no. 98% of you did not know who that was. I'm just spitballing a percentage. 98% of you probably did not know who that was. One or two things have happened here. Possibly one of three. One, for some reason, Carlos Slim is, we can go to the conspiracy theory part. He's playing ball. Like people, there's plenty of people who called Elon Musk evil and part of the World Economic Forum. But then he comes and buys Twitter. He's taking the red pill. He's supporting a lot of conservative things, even though he's pretty much an independent. But he's leaning right. There's no question, without saying he's leaning right. But a while back, everybody wanted to crucify him. I don't know what's going on with this. Was it to shed light on this particular name? I don't know. I do not believe for 1 second at all. And if I am wrong, I will gladly come on here and apologize to everyone and say I was wrong. But I do not believe for 1 second that Tim Ballard and Jim Caviezel or people are being played and the money coming from Sound of Freedom is going to finance child trafficking like nut job Madison Marquette and all the others have said. I don't buy that for 1 second. Yes, I'm extremely open-minded. Yes, I understand what it's like to do research. Yes, I know what it means to dig. I've been digging for a very, very long time. Don't come on my page and call me out and tell me I am not digging because I blocked your ass. And you go on your page and I know exactly what I'm talking about. I see things. And then you post on your page my name because I have a following. And then say, maybe if you unblock me, I'll forgive you. Who the fuck? Some of you are insane. Put it that way. I'm not talking about you guys following me right now. But some of you are just plain insane. Okay? You're rushing to judgment. And the reason you're rushing to judgment because this movie came out and people are hurrying up and putting in a lot of nonsense. We have no idea. I have no receipts. The man funded this. So I'll tell you what, go right now. Okay. On my, whatever my last post is prior to this video, you don't have to do it in here. Go on my last post. Show me some proof. I'll retract everything about the Sound of Freedom. I'll come on here. I'll even make a video and I'll retract it all. And I'll tell people not to go see it. If you can deliver me proof with these allegations from all of you who are out here putting up these posts and these videos that you're being played, and all the money's going back to Tim's in the CIA. We should know better. And I get all that. I get all that. I've been doing this for a while now. I understand that. What do you guys think in the comments? Seriously. And do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Just because you follow me, don't kiss my ass. All right? I mean that sincerely. I'm a man. I'm a man. I could take it. It's no problem. I'm sure I have a little reputation out here that I block some people and get rid of them. It's not because I'm blocking you because I don't disagree with you. It's because you're a what's the new word that came out this week? You're a bonus hole. A bonus hole. Yeah. So don't give me that crap. All right. All right, let's play some of this. Again, I want to hear the truth out here. Where your mindsets are at. Margie says, I legit think of you are against this movie, then you are sick and part of the problem. I agree. Yeah. If you guys don't know what that is, I don't want to get into it right now. But you nurses out there, well, apparently what if you haven't heard the bonus hole story, this is a true story. This is not even a joke, apparently. And nurses, doctors, people in the medical field now apparently have got to say this word instead of the woman's oh God, I gotta watch what I say in here. The woman's private parts, in case you're a trans person. So they take away the V word and they use bonus hole. So that's, yeah, I know it's madness. This is the world we're living in. I'm talking about insanity. Okay. I don't want to change this. I don't know how I drifted off on this. I'm not even going to put up any comments. Okay. Okay, here's one. This is good. I wouldn't care if Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates put this movie out. It's waking people up. We have to save the children. I have to agree with this. Okay. Whatever evil agenda, if there even is an evil agenda from the Slim family, okay, that's on them. Maybe it's just greed. They want a piece of the pie. They saw this. I don't know. I've never met Carlos Slim. And they haven't dined with his family. I don't know. Only what I research and read. I don't know these people. But it's pretty crazy to me. It's pretty crazy to me that you would fund this in front of the whole world, raise awareness, red pill an entire nation, only to do something evil behind the scenes. I'm not buying it at all. I've always taken a red flag approach. I've always stepped back, but I'm talking about children. We have to remember the children. Put the children before the propaganda, people. Put the children before the likes that you desire, the followers that you desire, the subscribers that you desire, the views that you want. Put the children before that in your selfish ways. Now, see, this here, okay, I respect you, Paula. This is who I am. Those folks are gone already and probably at Gitmo waiting for tribunals. None of us know that. I will never post. Those who know me, I have never posted anything like that on my page. I will not post anything like that on my page. I get it. I see the the thinking behind it, if you will. I get it. I think they are caught and busted, and this is the Great Awakening. I can believe that. Again, I will not post that, but in this particular podcast, I will just give you my opinion, and I can see that it's a possibility because all of a sudden, not only is this movie has global attention right now, which is, thank you, Jesus. Honestly, really, it's amazing for an independent film. Now you're putting a name on Front Street. Okay. Just like the whole thing with C-19, Donald Trump put Anthony Fauci on Front Street. And Anthony Fauci, who has little man syndrome, has a ginormous ego, and he cannot shy away from the spotlight, the cameras. He loves that stuff. And that's exactly what President Trump did. He put him on Front Street. He knew. This is a possibility. I don't know. But until you show me receipts, okay, I'm not changing my tune. And now another thing I'd like to address too, and let me go back to the comments, is the funds from the Sound of Freedom. Amen, Jen. It's time to focus on the problem of trafficking, not the controversy surrounding the movie. Amen, 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 amen. Okay. Okay, there's a good one there too. Okay. Carlson was a big donor to Hillary. Maybe it's time to start. I think you want to put time to start to shine light on what she has done to the children of Haiti. Let's talk about the funds that is being generated right now. They've grossed about $41 million. I think they've netted. It could be they've made a profit of about $6 million. Don't hold me to that, but apparently after the production of the movie, the investors, Carlos Slim, there you go, and everybody else gets paid back. So now they're starting to see a return. I think they're at about $6 million now. Already have announced that they're doing Sound of Freedom 2. Jim has been on camera to say they're doing Sound of Freedom 2. Okay? And Sound of Freedom 2 will be about Haiti. Jim has already spilled the beans. Okay? So what this was a slow rollout. Okay? Because this particular film was done very well. It was done very smart. It was done very responsible. And it was done with good taste, even though we're addressing a horrible, horrific, evil topic. Okay? And it's kind of red pilled the nation. I have seen so many reaction videos already to people saying they had no idea that the numbers were this high in child trafficking. No idea. Sound of Freedom 2 comes out. They can start shooting this bad boy immediately if they wanted to, which is a possibility. It sounds like because, okay, I had Nick Nanton, the director of Operation to Saint, on my show. I interviewed Nick Nanton. And if you haven't seen that, you can go to Rumble, at my Rumble page at MindPix TV, and watch that interview I did just before Sound of Freedom was released. Nick Nanton shot Operation to Saint, which was the documentary film about Tim Ballard going into Haiti and all the real footage. Now, Sound of Freedom 2 is going to be basically about that. Now, what happens now? We did not touch on certain things in the first one because I think it would have been too much for the public. Okay? And not only would have been too much for the public, the critics would have been 100 times worse than they are being right now if the first movie talked about adrenochrome, organ harvesting. Okay, that's a little much on the first film. Now, going to Sound of Freedom 2, something tells me that we're going to expose even a lot more. So we're red pilling a nation in the form with the medium of film. Think about the attention it's going to get. Now that Sound of Freedom gained this much attention, everybody's going to want to see the second one. And they're going to top it. This is a way to raise awareness. I've always bragged about the power of film. And that's what's happening. And for people to sit there, and I'll be the son of a bitch, and for people to keep coming on and saying, I want to know where the money's going. They should turn it and give it all the way to give it back to Operation Underground Railroad, and they should open up this and aftercares and everything else. That sounds all good, right? But I think they have a plan. And first of all, for you to say to these people, okay, who have given their lives, who have quit their jobs with the government, which is a good move by Tim Ballard. God knows what he's gone through on a personal level. Probably got PTSD. He just compartmentalizes it very well and deals with it however he deals with it. I know I would have PTSD. I couldn't do it. So you want all these people to keep doing the work they're doing is what you're saying, and then keep calling them out after they've done this wonderful thing. They've been rescuing kids for years. They've created this incredible organization called Operation Underground Railroad. They've made this film, and they've raised awareness, but they have an evil agenda behind it. Am I the only one here am I the only one being level-headed here? I mean, Lord, I'm not on here to scold people. I'm just trying to take you inside my head a little bit and where I'm coming from. And I don't see it. These accusations that are out there, I'm not going to, I've been open to them. Like I said, we've discussed this evening. I am not changing my tune because the funds that are coming right now go to Sound of Freedom 2. And it's probably going to be even a bigger production, which it probably should be. Putting out a movie like this and reaching the entire world is incredible. It's a dream of a filmmaker. It's a dream of mine still. And they're using it responsibly because it's not a movie you go to be entertained, to escape the world like you would be going to the theater to see John Wick or Fast and Furious or whatever you go watch. This is a red pill film. This is not for entertainment. This is for waking up. And even most of you who are watching me right now have been awakened to all this. We went to support the film. We gave them our money. But there are many other people who've gone to see that. You know, one thing I've done? I like watching reaction videos. One of my things I love to do is I like watching reaction videos to music, to movies, and things like that. So when I want my downtime, I like it to escape and watch people. I like to see a generation of people who normally wouldn't listen to certain music or see certain movies per se, because it may not be in their demographic. I'd like to see them react to it, and I enjoy that. I have seen reactors on YouTube who didn't even know about this movie because now they know about it because it's making its rounds and it's gaining attention, national attention. And these reactors are reacting to it on YouTube. And every single one that I have seen so far says they had no idea whatsoever that this problem exists. They knew it existed, but the numbers and the statistics of the amount of children who are trafficked around the world on a yearly annual basis, they had no idea. And it's mind-blowing for most people. And it's mind-blowing for me still when I hear those figures. There you go. I hope they expose the Clinton Foundation in the upcoming movie. Half the world knows. Half the world knows for sure. We know that. Tony says we're winning. We'll continue to win. The people that making this movie risk their lives doing it. Absolutely, they risk their lives. Absolutely. Even in the film, Jim talked about it too, apparently, that they were into some bad areas of Colombia. They were really in Colombia, according to what Jim said. And the cartels and all that were around there. It's not like the cartels are just going to welcome you in and, hey, you're making a movie? Okay, no problem. Come on in. It doesn't work that way. All right. So I want to just play one more thing and wrap it up. Okay. I want to touch on this real quick and something else, but in closing into that part of it, I stand behind this film. I stand behind the awareness of the film, the subject matter of the film. I think we need to start remembering every time that we, I don't like to be preaching. I got to be careful. I'll just preach to myself. Every time that I go to post something, okay, I got to remember the children first. You got to keep the children first in the forefront of your mind. So, hold on a second. Hold on one second. There's a Telegram spammer in our live feed, and I'm going to block. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right, I got him. Pretty cool watching the comments, and all of a sudden you see a Telegram spammer come up. All right. And we stand behind you, Bruce. I appreciate that. I thank you for that. Again, this is why I'm very, very careful to not turn into anybody who has a following, a cult-like following or whatever. I don't like that at all. I don't want that responsibility. I want the news, my research, and what I put out there to be what you listen to and follow. Not me, not the person. Okay? God's got me. It's the research, my when I say this with humility, my common sense, thinking and discernment, and the way I rationalize things and think things through, and not rush out here and scold people. You're not digging. Who do you think you are? You're not awake. You're not digging. Because you see one name connected. It's crazy to me. Don't worry, Bruce. You're not exactly Charles Manson. Hey, did you guys see that before I came on the air? This is not, I got it loaded. I'll play this, but I want to play Flynn and Douglas McGregor real quick about there's going to be no 2024 election. But here, speaking of, check it out.
I'm Ellen Leva, live from ABC7. We have breaking news. Former Charles Manson follower Leslie Van Houten has been released from the state prison in Corona. It comes 4 days after Governor Gavin Newsom's office announced it would no longer challenge her parole grant. Newsom had rejected parole for Van Houten on 3 occasions during his time in office, but a state appeals court in May rejected his most recent denial of parole.
Charlie, one of them got out. One of the cult members are out. Boy, if I was that person, I'd be running to write a book. They're probably going to write a book, make a movie. You know how that's coming. Okay, one last thing. I said there's probably going to be no 2024 election. I've been leaning on this for quite some time. Why do I say that? It's not just because I played the clips of General Flynn and Douglas McGregor, Colonel Douglas McGregor, and we'll go from there. So let's listen to both. They're very short. first, and I'll give you my take, and then we'll wrap it up. So here's General Flynn talking about possibility of a black swan event, or events plural. A black swan event is something like a 9/11. Okay, a 9/11. So we'll play Flynn first, and listen to McGregor. Listen to both their languages and what they say.
How that's going to happen? He doesn't know how that's going to happen. Wasn't speculating about exactly how something like that is going to happen, meaning that the 2024 election doesn't occur. But that's pretty much what he said, was that he can see a scenario, as I can, a scenario that we don't have an election in 2024, that some other, and they call them black swans, some other black swan type event occurs, or maybe there's a couple of black swan.
Okay, so there we go. Him talking about black swan event. General Flynn talking about a black swan event. We've discussed black swan. It's been in the Q drops, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then here, let's listen to this.
Explode in Washington before. I don't think we'll ever get to the 2024 election. I think things are going to implode in Washington before then. I think our economic financial condition is fragile. It's going to come home to roost in ugly ways. I will tell you, I don't know exactly how it will happen. I think we're going to end up in a situation where we find out the banks are closed for 2 or 3 weeks and nobody can get into them.
You think so?
I think we're going to run into something like that, yeah. I also think that the levels of violence and criminality in our cities is so high that it's going to spill over into other places in society. People that normally think they can live remote from the problem are now beginning to be touched by the problem. Then I look at this thing in Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to lose catastrophically. It's going to be a complete collapse. And that, too, is going to have an effect here at home, because people are going to say, well, wait a minute. Everybody told us Ukraine was winning. Everybody told us X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's sort of the Russian hoax on steroids. All of those things are going to come together or converge in some way that's going to prevent us from reaching, the status quo. Oh, another election. Oh, another set of campaigns, and so forth.
Okay, so there you go. So you have General Flynn saying there most likely be no 2024 election. He believes some black swan events, plural, will take place. Then we have Colonel Douglas McGregor basically backing that up, saying the same thing in more detail. You hear what I just said? General and Colonel have just told you all. General and Colonel have just told you this is completely different than the propaganda we just talked about and kind of dissected with Sound of Freedom. These people are telling you straight from their mouths. I believe this because this particular Ukraine situation, this Ukraine-Russia war, is not a typical war that I have seen in my lifetime. The objective behind it, the agenda behind it is completely different. Every war is about greed. There's no question about that. And the military-industrial complex. This war has no ending in sight. The ending of this war will be a global event that affects everybody into a new world. But what will that new world be? This is not propaganda. This is discernment, research. And again, as I brag for years now, I don't do dates. I go by events. Watch events unfold. Put it together like a puzzle piece. And that is what's happening right now. I don't see, hold on a second. I don't see any end in sight. Let me grab another one here. Trying to save you guys in the, there we go. Oh, the spam bots are out. They're in the live feed. I got them. Okay, so again, General Flynn, Colonel Douglas McGregor, both have told you. I didn't post that today, but I felt more comfortable posting that today, my prediction, because these men were backing it up. I've been saying that behind the scenes for quite some time now. There's a lot of things that you got to listen to the language. I know we've been living in a world of dissecting things and comms and we are in the middle of a psychological operation, a war on information and disinformation, and a war of living on a digital battlefield, whether you're Donald Trump or Joe Biden or all of us, but you're living on a digital battlefield, and you sometimes, a lot of times, have to speak in coded type messages and read between the lines, because this is a real battle out here. They know that the enemy is watching every single step, every single word that Donald Trump puts out, or Dan Scavino, or certain people, and what they're saying and what they're communicating. As much as the lunatic left and the mainstream media, Media Matters, George Soros, and everybody's pocket are denouncing QAnon, it's because of panic. All right. I guarantee you, just like the devil himself knows the Bible better than us, that the enemy knows that QAnon board even probably better than us. They're watching every move. And they're really coming out, huh? Hey, guys. So just ignore the trolls and the, yeah. I'm just blocking them. All right. Got them. And that's what I'm talking about real quick. In the beginning of my show, I talked about these spammers. They're probably going to be all over the place on my post when I get off of here. Okay. Just ignore them. Don't. And I ask kindly, you'd be doing me a solid favor. Don't message me and tell me I got a Telegram spammer. I don't even want to hear that. That just aggravates me because it's just overwhelming. It's too much. Just ignore them. All right. That's all. Enough of a PSA there. So again, let's go to your comments real quick. That's funny. I'm getting a sticker which says my dog is smarter than the president. Let's go, Brandon. All right. Like this. I don't know what we're talking about, but based off of what I've been talking about, it's all causing critical thought, common sense, and research to get people to wake up. I get that. Good point. Tony says life is hard, but it could be 10 times worse right now. Trump put us in a great position before all of this goes down. We will already be screwed if HRC won. Can you imagine? Think about that. Can you imagine if she won? Think about that. Take a moment and try and process that. Oh my Lord. We would really be in a pickle. I mean, it's like we dodged a bullet. Really, we dodged a bullet. It's amazing. Okay. Yeah, she was the cleanup for after Obama. No question about that. Okay. So again, glad we got to touch on the sound of freedom. We got to touch on about my prediction, not necessarily my prediction, but my belief is with the general and the colonel there. Of course, at the end of the day, we could be wrong, but right now, the way the world looks on July 11th, 2023, the percentages are so high to that us not having a 2024 election. The probability of that are really great. So it's funny. They're really somebody they know they're in the hold on a second. They're trying another one. I swear they know when I'm on the air, because anytime I come on the air, I go after the show, they're loaded with the Telegram spammers. But I want to thank everybody first and foremost, again, for tuning in tonight. I went a little longer than I anticipated, so we really got into about the Sound of Freedom. Get out there, go support the Sound of Freedom. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it. And one more thing too, I will say, so I'm clear about this. I think some people were missing the message of mine. So now that I'm on the air, I'll just say that I'm not a supporter because I love the arts, first of all. And even though this particular film is in the medium of being in an art form of film, movies, it's more than a movie. It's a message. I agree about getting the message out there, but there's a fine line too to putting bootlegs out there, and people have already recorded it in the theater with their phone, and they're putting it online in a very terrible resolution look, but they're putting it out there. I get the idea that certain people can't get to the theater or don't have access to it, but you will, because it'll be ready soon for digital download, for rental, for purchase on probably DVD, whatever. That's just around the corner. Apparently, Twitter, Elon Musk has already said that they're going to put it on Twitter here in July. So I think that's gonna. I think that's gonna. It depends on how many more days they have bought in the theater for theatrical release. So, oh yeah, these see, this is a wild experiment right now. If you are live with me right now, okay, this is the most I ever seen it. Here's another Telegram spammer. This is like 5, 6 now. I don't know what it's been, but I've been blocking them left and right. There we go. I got another one. So I think they're watching me, and they just they just come at me like a a platoon, a bunch of army guys. Crazy. All right. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in this evening. I really appreciate it. God bless you all. And I'm going to go out there now. I'll get Tim Ballard. Somebody said during the live broadcast he was on Jesse Waters tonight. I'll put that up as soon as I'm done. I appreciate y'all. I hope I made sense. I hope I didn't come across as telling you what to do. I don't like that. Okay. But at the same time, I just wanted to give you my 2 cents. I stand behind the Sound of Freedom. I stand behind the filmmakers. I stand behind Tim Ballard. I stand behind Jim Caviezel. And I stand behind the message of this film until I have real solid concrete proof of these allegations. Okay. I will not change my mind. God bless you all. You guys have an incredible evening, and we will talk to you real soon. All right. Bye-bye.